Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be looking at an amazing topic on anxiety. And we'll just be sharing a few words with you today on why do believers, people who believe in God, who believe in Jesus, why do they struggle with anxiety? Why do some believers struggle with anxiety? This is something that you might have faced in your journey. I certainly have faced in my journey. Why do we struggle as believers with anxiety? I'm going to share you 3 points that I want you to just reflect on. 3 points I want you to reflect on. The first is anxiety is a natural phenomenon. It's a natural phenomenon. What do I mean by that? When your body perceives threats, it begins to shield you from those threats. So when your brain perceives threats, it begins to shield you from those threats. So when you walk in the flesh, when you're about yourself, you worry about yourself. Matthew 6 verse 25 tells us to not worry about what to eat, what to drink, what to wear. Why? Because when you start worrying about self, anxiety kicks in. When you think a lot about self, about your needs, what you need, anxiety kicks in. Because your brain is trying to protect you. So that's one of the reasons why believers struggle with anxiety. Because they tend to walk in the flesh instead of in the spirit. So when you find yourself going through an anxious moment, you struggle with anxiety, you struggle with fear, ask yourself, are you currently walking in the flesh or are you walking in the spirit? Because you will realize that when you walk in the flesh, it's easier for you to entertain anxious thoughts. So that's number one. Number two reason why I believe some believers struggle with anxiety is because of personal history. Personal history. Not everyone has been raised up in the most ideal way. Some people have traumatic experience. Some people have struggled through abuse, torture, betrayal, abandonment, resentment, different things. So when you have such a history with such a past, what ends up happening is you begin to project your past onto your future. So when it's time to do something, when it's time to make a commitment, when it's time to trust the Lord, when it's time to be with other people, you begin to have anxious thoughts. Why? Because the people you grew up with never cared for you the way you should be cared for. So that means you don't trust others. You begin to project your past onto your future. So that's the second reason why believers struggle with anxiety. It's important that you seek God, you seek counsel, you go through the proper channels in regards to healing. Because you need to be heal from that traumatic experience. Yes, you might have had a lot of things happen to you, which is very sad. And I empathize and I do feel for people who've had traumatic experience. But don't let that stop you from experiencing the life Christ has for you. For the enemy has come to kill, steal, and destroy, John 10:10. But God has come and Jesus has come so that we might have life and life in abundance. So the second reason why some believers struggle with anxiety is because of past trauma or past experiences. The final and last reason why believers struggle with anxiety is because they think too much and they focus on things they cannot control. For Jesus said that, can you even make a hair grow on your head? Do you have the power to do that? What was he trying to say in that specific verse? He was saying there are things you do not have control over. So it's important that you focus on the things that you have control over. He said, do not worry about tomorrow, for sufficient is its own troubles for tomorrow. So do not worry about tomorrow. Focus on the present. What can you control? Because the moment you start thinking about things you cannot control, anxiety gets in the way. I see people get to a place where they're so worried about what's happening 3,000 miles away because of the internet, while they don't have time to take care of what's happening in their own home. Anxiety. Anxiety is a killer. It's something that cripples us from taking bold actions. It limits our faith. So I pray that if you find yourself in one of these 3 points or examples I shared, I want you to just speak to God. I want you to just ask God to help you in that journey. Because there's a lot He has in store for you, for your relationships, your career, your ministry. There's amazing thing God has for you. But if you allow anxiety to take hold of you, it will be difficult for you to be the salt of the earth, the light of the world. I'd love to know what you think about anxiety as a believer. Have you gone through it? Are you going through it? Leave your comments below and I'll definitely check them out. Until next time, take care.